Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on this terrific Tuesday. Allincrypto here, and today we are going to be talking about one of our favorite cryptocurrency projects once again. And of course, I'm referring to Hedera Hashgraph and the HBAR token. And we're going to be talking today about something absolutely monumental that the cryptocurrency space is enabling and Hedera's role in all of this. And of course, I am talking about the evolution of money itself. The printing press brought around notary money, banknotes and things as such, or IOUs is what they originally started off as, and then progressed to banknotes. Then the internet enabled the digital money. And now, today, we're on the cusp of seeing money transform once again into essentially stable coins and CBDCs. And Hedera is going to play a role in all of this. Now, I'm not a fan of CBDCs, but they're coming whether you like it or not. And of course, the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde herself, said you should expect those that they've been working on for a long time in regards to CBDCs in November or October, one of the two, November, October this year. And we also know that in America, Trump has vowed to never allow a central bank digital currency to be issued. And that gap or void is going to be filled by public-private companies, or private companies, I should say, not really public companies, and public blockchains. And Hedera is going to play a role in that. So we were going to do a video on stablecoins and how they're going to fundamentally change the world and what Hedera's role was or is going to be in all of that. And today couldn't have been more of a perfect day. This was announced by World Liberty, which of course is Trump's kind of project, crypto project, if you will. Meet USD1, the stablecoin your portfolio has been waiting for, built for institutions and retail alike. Backed by dollars, custodied by BitGo. And there's a connection to Hedera here, and we'll highlight that. No games, no gimmicks, just real stability. Now, BitGo, of course, is a Hedera Hashgraph governing council member. And that was one of, and it feels like a lifetime ago, but it wasn't actually that long ago, one of the new governing council members that we got onboarded in 2024. And this is what BitGo have to say about all of this. Meet USD1, the stablecoin built for institutions. World Liberty Fi is launching a fully backed, dollar-redeemable stablecoin, secure, auditable, and designed for scale. Well, that means it can't happen on Ethereum. We know, actually, that they are testing on BNB. But I think given their connection, or given BitGo, the custodian of this sort of, or at least of the reserves of this cryptocurrency, given BitGo's relationship to Hedera, I think Hedera is quite an obvious choice for not just World Liberty Fi stablecoin to be built upon, but the likes of Circle's USDC, and more broadly, stablecoins as a whole to actually run and be utilized on Hedera Hashgraph, because it is simply more efficient. And we'll show you that through what Crypto.com are doing in just a second. But BitGo is delighted to prove or provide custody and prime services, delivering the trust and infrastructure to global investors. Thank you to the team. This was another tweet from them. The eagle has landed. I think there's a lot of things going on with HBAR right now, or a lot of connections that can be made that aren't publicly being said as of right now. Now, to go and recap, I want to just go and play you guys a couple of clips of what's actually been said about stablecoins, because we know from the horse's mouth, being Scott Bessent, the Secretary Treasury, or David Sachs, the crypto and AI czar, that stablecoins are going to be adopted by the US government to propagate dollar dominance, to bring down interest rates, and to provide a democratization to the issue that is the debt market, and thus a buyer of it. Let's kick things off with what Scott Bessent has said on stablecoins. This is huge, and retail, by the way, is kind of like sulking and sucking their thumb a little bit and very upset, whereas actually it's never been a better time to be in the cryptocurrency space. And that's one thing that we continue to press upon people here on the Allincrypto channel. Let's dive into this.
And we are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime, and as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that. Thank you.
Okay then. And blockchains, public blockchains, are going to play a role in that. And my bet is Hedera is going to play a big role in that. There's lots of news that we could have also covered in regards to Hedera Hashgraph Governing Council members now mobilizing or actively looking to sort of use and utilize distributed ledger technology, obviously on the back end of all the regulatory clarity we're getting. But before we get into a little bit of that, let's listen to what David Sachs also had to say on stablecoins. It's very evident, and Hedera is going to play a major role, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to say additionally, we're excited about working with both the House and Senate on stablecoin legislation. I know Senator Haggerty introduced a bill today. This stablecoins really have the potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the U.S. dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates. So let me stop there, and I want to...
We know stablecoins are destined to be adopted. They already are being. And I think the World Liberty Fi announcement, of course, sort of solidifies all of this. And remember that World Liberty, or at least BitGo, who World Liberty are essentially using to enable all of this, are a Hashgraph or Hedera Governing Council member. So they actually are actively working with Hedera and, of course, using and utilizing Hedera's infrastructure. And the president's project, crypto project, is actually now using them, and there's going to be clear links to Hedera there. What I want to do now, and I was actually going to cover this video yesterday, but it couldn't be better timed. I was going to cover what the Hashgraph CEO said about Web3's future and why BitGo is such a key partner. Now, this video, we'll go ahead and show you the video, essentially came out 2 days ago. And for some unknown reason, this was put out by BitGo themselves. For some unknown reason, this got literally 36 likes, but this couldn't be more timely. Let's go ahead and play the clips that I have for you of this, and then we're going to talk about why Hedera stands a good chance of actually enabling the world that we're moving towards and the kind of money that we're moving towards.
BitGo has been a custodian of many of our organizations, many of our clients, many of our partners. BitGo is also integrating the tokens service and the consensus service, what we call HTS and HCS, into their platform. And the value of doing this is when you build a new solution on Hedera, you can trust BitGo to be the custodian of that solution when you need it, when you build your own solution. And then finally, BitGo just joined a few months ago the governing council of Hedera, which is exciting for us because that's a validation that the ecosystem players, the technology vendors, it's a really, really important partnership between Hedera and BitGo. Really excited about that. BitGo has been around for a long time. So BitGo is a trusted partner, trusted vendor, trusted provider to the blockchain ecosystem, to the crypto ecosystem. And you need this because we are all building something for the very long term, and we need partners we can trust for the long term. So that's maybe the first reason why BitGo was important to us. They are committing to building solutions with us, with our partner, with our ecosystem on Hedera, using our services and building real solutions for the world, not just a solution that is going to last few weeks, few months, few years. We are really building for the long term. BitGo for us was very important because of the relationship we have with BitGo for quite some time, but also because BitGo has been in this industry for more than 10 years. And that's a long time in this industry. And being in this industry for a long time is important. It gives you credibility, it gives you trust and confidence that the companies will be around, will continue to support this industry, will continue to be a custodian and a partner of your different projects. So that's really important. That's what I would say when I talk to CIOs and CFOs. I always recommend BitGo because of the capability of the products, because of the team, and because of the fact they've been around for quite some time.
Of course, Hedera hasn't been mentioned in all of this, but BitGo has been, which kind of implies potentially Hedera is involved in some way, shape, or form. And actually what we're seeing is a kind of move towards Hedera. Because of the chain's capabilities, it makes so much sense to deploy a stablecoin on Hedera that certainly compared to other blockchains, you just can't even deny that. And so far, over 50 million has been deployed in a very short succession of time on Hedera in regards to USDC. Circle obviously working with the CFTC, just deployed in Japan as a regulated stablecoin. And actually this was done by the HBAR Foundation. On crypto.com, you save the most money by using USDC on Hedera. It's faster than most change. It's cheaper than most change. It's there's no variable fee. It's regulatory compliant, etc., etc., etc. And you can see this is clearly demonstrated. So Hedera is a very obvious choice to deploy stablecoins, which are the evolution of money. And I think this is a major narrative for HBAR. Certainly we know that the United States is about to adopt this. So will every other currency or country and currency, because this is the evolution of money. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That is it from me. I'm going to love and leave you, and I'll see you all on the flip side.